Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that's honestly a real game changer. Exactly how your devices stay so perfectly organized. Let's get right into it.
So, let me start with a simple question. When you head out to school or work in the morning, you don't just, throw everything into your bag anyhow, all mixed up together, right? Your maths book has its specific place. Your English book has its place. Even your lunch pack has its own spot. Nothing is just thrown in there randomly.
Well, your device works in exactly the same way. On our agenda today, we're covering 1. Files and folders explained, 2. Saving, copying, and moving, 3. Renaming and deleting files, and 4. Today's lesson summary. All right, Section 1, Files and Folders Explained, the basics of digital organization.
So what's a file? A file is simply one single piece of work saved on a device. It could literally be one photo you snapped at a birthday party, one song, one video, or even just one document that someone typed up. One file equals one item.
Now, if a file is like one exercise book, then what holds many exercise books together? On a device, the thing that holds many files together is called a folder. It's really that simple. Just think of a cupboard in your house. Inside that cupboard, there are different shelves, right? You've got one for cups, maybe one for plates. In the exact same way, a folder can actually have smaller folders inside it. We call this a subfolder. So imagine having one big folder called School, holding smaller subfolders called Maths, English, and Basic Science. Hey, do you remember Zoro from the anime One Piece? Zoro doesn't just throw his 3 swords anywhere. Absolutely not. Each sword has its exact place right at his side. And that is exactly how we should treat our files. Every single file should have a specific folder where it belongs.
So where can you see this in your everyday life? Well, open the Gallery or Photos app on any phone, and you'll notice photos are already grouped together, sometimes by date or sometimes inside albums. On a computer, you'll find folders already waiting for you, with names like Documents, Downloads, and Pictures. Even at home, your kitchen is arranged, rice in one container, beans in another. That's organizing in action.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever searched and searched endlessly for a homework book at home and just couldn't find it because it wasn't kept in its proper place? Super frustrating, isn't it?
Okay, moving right along to Section 2. Saving, copying, and moving. These are the action words for your files.
Let's kick this off with saving. When you type something out, snap a photo, or download a file, your device asks you where you want to keep it. That action of keeping your work somewhere on your device is called saving. It's exactly like deciding whether to write a note in your English book or your maths book. Now, let's look really closely at copying and how it's completely different from moving. Have you ever seen someone photocopy a document at a business center? Maybe like a wax slip. When that paper comes out of the machine, the original doesn't just disappear. Nope, the original stays right there in the person's hand, and a new second copy now exists too. That is exactly what copying means. The original stays exactly where it was, and a brand new copy appears elsewhere. Now moving? Moving is totally different. Imagine scooping rice from one plate into a second plate, so it completely disappears from the first plate. There's still only one portion of rice, it's just changed its location. That's moving. The original disappears from its old folder and now only exists in the new folder.
To illustrate this difference even further, think about Naruto's shadow clone jutsu. The real Naruto doesn't disappear. He's still standing right there. But a brand new copy of him now exists too, able to do everything he can do. That's copying. If instead, Naruto just teleported, disappearing completely from one spot only to reappear somewhere else, with only one Naruto existing at any given time, well, that would be moving.
Here's a common action you probably do all the time without even realizing it. When you share or send a file, like, say, forwarding a photo to a friend on WhatsApp, you're actually copying it, not moving it. Your original photo remains perfectly safe right there on your own phone, even after your friend receives their own copy.
Which brings us to Section 3, Renaming and Deleting Files, managing what you keep and throw away. You see, every file has a name, but sometimes the name a device automatically gives a file isn't clear at all. It's usually something confusing like IMG001. Well, we can actually change this name to something that makes sense to us. This is called renaming. Changing IMG001 to My Birthday Party Photo helps us find that exact photo so much more easily weeks later, without having to blindly open 10 different photos first.
Now, when you no longer want a file, you can delete it. But here's something absolutely crucial to remember. On most devices, deleting doesn't actually remove a file forever, immediately. No way. Instead, it moves it to a temporary folder first, often called the trash, the recycle bin, or if you're in a gallery app, recently deleted.
You just think of that small dustbin sitting inside your house. When you toss a piece of paper into it, it doesn't just magically vanish immediately, it simply sits there, waiting, until someone actually empties it outside. A device's trash works in exactly the same way. So if you deleted something by mistake, you can just go find it in the trash and choose Restore to bring it right back to where it was. But if you empty that trash completely, it's usually gone for good, exactly like when the house dustbin is finally emptied outside and taken far away.
All right, Section 4, today's lesson summary. Let's bring everything we've talked about together.
So, to recap, a file is one saved item. A folder holds files together and can even hold smaller folders inside of it. Save means keeping your work somewhere. Copy duplicates a file, keeping the original safe while creating a brand new copy. Move relocates a file completely with only one copy remaining. Rename simply gives a file a clearer name. And delete, while that usually gives you a second chance through the trash before anything is truly gone forever.
You know, your device isn't just some messy room. It's a perfectly organized universe waiting for you to take charge. So the very next time you download a file, I want you to ask yourself, are you just throwing it into your bag anyhow, or are you putting it exactly where it belongs? In our next explainer, we'll be diving into settings, Wi-Fi, and how to take full control of your screen. See you then.